Operation Barbarossa began on June 22nd, 1941. And this was the Nazi operation to attack Russia, also called the Soviet Union at that time. And this battle went from June 22nd, 1941 to December also of 1941, but it also began a very long war with Russia that went on for the duration of World War II. Okay, so you can see from this map this major attack that Nazi Germany began against the Soviet Union or Russia. And from this picture, this map, by this time Germany had taken over Poland completely, as we talked about last week, and launched from there a major attack on the Soviet Union. And one reason he did this was because he had lost his in his invasion of Great Britain. And when he couldn't defeat England, he turned his attack against a much larger landmass in the Soviet Union, as you can see from the map. So this was the largest land invasion in world history, with this attack in June of 1941 called Barbarossa. And it was a war of extermination, so he would kill civilians or anyone that got in the way. And we know from the past he frequently killed journalists, anyone in the newspaper business, teachers, professors, anyone in the media, and basically wiped out any writers. So he was known for that, and he stayed with that when he invaded Russia. He invaded with 600,000 vehicles. He captured 5 million prisoners, many of which would not survive the war. He killed 1 million Soviet Jews, mostly by shooting, which is sometimes called the Holocaust by bullets. In the attack, there were 4.5 million German troops in what is called a blitzkrieg attack, which means a fast attack. This news was covered in many newspapers. Nazis take on Russia. So this shows some of the major troop movement of German troops invading into Russia. There were such tremendous battles at Leningrad, and in which nearly 1 million civilians died. It was a film called Stalingrad. Hitler's goal was then to drive on to take Moscow. So the battle went on, but the problem for the Nazis was that the winter was coming towards the end of the battle, and the German divisions were not dressed for sometimes 10 below zero weather, and they had a rough time. Their early successes made them be so far away from supply lines that they were unable to get reinforcements and food and winter clothing. So as the war went on, they started to lose, and they got stuck into a situation in which they were deep into Russia in winter weather. Okay, there's another film, a more recent film, Enemy at the Gates, regarding some of what was going on at the time. So the attack continued well into December. The Russian troops fought back in the strongest way, though Stalin was very ruthless with his own troops. So if you didn't fight, you would be sent to a firing squad. So they fought and desperately, and the war just dragged on. But this battle of Barbarossa was, like I said, the beginning of a long fight between Germany and Russia that lasted all the way from 41 to 1945. Okay, so technically then uh, Barbarossa was from June 1941 to December 1941, and was a vicious battle between the invading Nazi troops and the Russians, and was the beginning of a very long, drawn out battle between those two countries, which in many ways drained the German forces over the 4 year period and really did hurt their long term goal of controlling as much of the world as they possibly could control.